Hello everyone, my name is Hriyen, your tech maestro at Azure DevOps Pulse. Welcome back to our another episode. In today's episode, we'll be learning how we can create custom image and how we can manage them, as well as how we can push those custom image to your repository such as Docker Hub, that is a private public repository, as well as private repository such as Azure Container Registry. As you know, in order to create a custom image, first of all, we need to have a Docker file within your project directory. In my case, let me just go to my terminal in my Docker system where I have installed. So as you can see, this I have already logged into the systems where I have installed Docker Azure. So if I type ls, you will get to see here one Docker file with some index.html. This is optional, but this is mandatory. Okay. So like I mentioned, whenever you want to create any custom Docker image, you first need to have a Docker file created or ready. In my case, I have already created. It is very simple Docker file. Let me just show you once. Just type cat, then Docker file name. So this is the file I have it. Let me show you one more. That is a cat index so that I will explain together what it exactly does. All right. First of all, we'll try to understand the Docker file, what exactly it has, right? It contains such as you can see from whenever you're going to, first of all, let us understand what is Docker file. Docker file is nothing but it is a simple plain text which has your setup instruction. So if you see like a from in a variable or environment and then runs, copy, expose, cmd, these all are known as instruction basically. Okay, so based on your instruction, the Docker image is going to be built. Now, if you see that whenever you actually try to write or try to create a Docker file, always you will get from in the first place because from is something that is a base image. In my case, base image is your Debian Bastard Slim. Okay, and this is an environment variable. In your case, I have mentioned you can ignore if you don't. Okay, and then what is the next? Another instruction that is what it is going to do run instruction. They are going to update your systems and also then they are going to install nginx, then they are going to clean it and they are going to copy this one, copy with the copy instruction they are going to copy index.html. That means if you see here what actually it has, I have another file called index.html within the same where you have a docker file in the project directory basically. So as you can see, this is basically inside this index.html. I have something like hello there, welcome to Azure DevOps Pulse. Okay, this is something I have it. So I want this to be available. So this particular index.html, they are going to copy with the help of copy instruction to where this particular location under slash where slash www dot then html slash. Okay, under this one, they are going to copy this particular file. Okay, then what they do after copying this one, they are like I mentioned, this particular another what do you call it instruction that is a expose. You are going to expose the port as well as that is nginx listens on port 80 right in the container. So there you have to expose port as well. And the last one, it is a cmd instruction. What exactly it does basically, this is going to set the default commands to run when the container starts. Okay, so it starts content it starts the nginx with a specific that is your if you see here daemon, right? What basically it does, it makes nginx run in the foreground. So this is how it is going to be. So what you do now, let me just, this is like I mentioned, it is very simple. You can also write it as you wish. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to build this one. How can I build that? With the help of, I'll be building a Docker image now out of Docker file. Now let me run Docker. I can build, build. I can mention tag name also. basically this is going to be your image name. So if you want, you can give or you can ignore it, but it is always best practice. We need to maintain the naming standard as well. So I can give a name as web app, any name that you wish to give. Then I can give space dot. That means now why I'm giving a space dot, because within my directory, in if you see here directory of which one, uh, here Docker, right? Docker is directory. I have this folder. The first is your Docker file, second is this one. Okay. So I'm going to consider everything. So they are going to build the image now. Let me run. Okay. As you can see right now, it is successfully built because it is a very simple file. So as you can see, it is successfully run, and also at the last, if you see, exporting to image and exporting the layers and the writing image, then naming to Docker with this particular name, that is whatever name I have mentioned here, web app. This is the name I have mentioned, right? Now let me check this one. How can I check this one? Docker images, because images, if I run anything that is available within my local system, it is going to list it over here. So let me clear the screen once again and show you. So as I mentioned here, this is the name we have given for our Docker image. That is a new one basically which we have built. And that if you see here, the tag basically is a latest tag, and this is the image ID for my web app. Now, so we are good with this one. What I'm going to run these commands now just to see whether my Docker image what I build, I mean using Docker file, whether it is running fine or not, or working fine or not, to be confirmed. So how can I do that one? Let me run Docker run. I want to mention with the what is the name of the container. I can just mention name argument, container name, anything. Let's say this is in my case it is actually simple nginx, right? I just mentioned web app. I can mention container something so that it will be easy for us to understand as well. I can mention D nothing but in that I want to run this particular container in the background, so it will be details mode. Then I can mention T terminal. Then I can mention P is nothing but I want to expose the port. In my case, let's say I want to make it 400. Then colon. I need to mention the, if you remember, whenever I run the Docker Nginx, that time I expose port 80, right? So I'm going to use the same port, that is the container port basically, which Nginx going to listens. Okay. So now what is the image name? In my case, whatever image name, I can copy this image name or I can type it accordingly. Now, if you want to give the this one, that is your latest tag also, if you want, you can give it or you can ignore it. In my case, I can give because just for better understanding, it will be help. It will be good. So what I did was now I'm going to build now, okay, with the help of existing Docker image which was built recently. Let me run. So right now container got created. Now let me check. How can I check the container whether it is running or not? So there is many there are two commands I can use. One is a Docker container. Okay, Docker container ls also I can see. So what is the name I have given? This is the name I have given, right? When I build, if you remember here, this is a container name I'm given. This particular container name is used for which one particular image, that is a web app image. So and this is the container ID is nothing but for this particular container ID. Okay. Right now, as you can see here, this is the port I have exposed, and this is a basically like the container port dot nginx relations on port 80. All right, now let me check whether I can access this one. Curl, I just mentioned http colon slash local host. What is the port I exposed? If you remember, 400 port I used. If you see here, this is the port you have exposed, so I can use this port. Locally, it will be exposed. So good here. So I could see here. Hi there. Welcome to Azure DevOps Pulse. So right now I'm good here. I have confirmed now the Docker image which was built manually. I mean using Docker file. It is successfully created and container is running fine. The application also running fine in the container. Okay. Now what I do next? Now this running container. Let me just clear the screen once again. Docker images. This particular container right now, what I want to do is that I want to, because right now this is only available within your local system. Now let's say you are as a DevOps person or maybe as a developer or whatever, you want this particular application because this is basically now it's a containerized application, right? This particular image can be used anywhere right now, wherever you want, you can use it. So you cannot store or keep your Docker image in your local system. What you want is there because at the same time, other teams like your colleagues maybe they want to access this image and they want to consume or they want to use this image. So you want this to be available somewhere in your centralized location so that your team can access and use this image. Okay. So what we are going to do here, we are going to push this particular same image to Docker Hub, that is your public repository, as well as private repositories such as Azure Container Registry. So let's see how we can do that. All right. So as you can see here, pushing image to Docker Registry. In our case, the first one is pushing Docker to Docker Hub. Okay, we can push to Docker Hub. Once we are done with that one, second we are also going to push to the Azure Container Registry. The reason why I want Azure Content Registry because this is something, it's a private repository. Normally, company they don't prefer to keep in your public repository. So always best practice we need to store in a secure place. So that is why I want this particular the container image. I mean the Docker image I want to store in a private repository that is in your Azure Container Registry. Anyway, we are going to show private as well as public. Okay. So let me go with the one by one. We will first try with the Docker Hub. So these are the nodes. Basically, you can also refer this one. This is basically a repository I have complete. You can refer these documents. First thing, if you don't have the Docker Hub account, you must create first. If you don't have, you can refer this link. You can create one. Okay, it's very simple. Just log in, click in the link, and this will take you to the sign up button. You have to register with your email ID or whatever. Then once you have, I have to log into the server. What I do now, in my case, I want to push this image to the system. What I do now, I'll copy this one, or I can simply type here Docker login. Then you is nothing but you are specifying the username, name of the user. What is my username? In my case, let me go to, as you can see, this is my username. Okay, so what is the username? I can copy from here or I can copy from anywhere. This is my Docker Hub username. So let me copy. So as I type here Docker login and specifying with the username, I'm going to type my username now, I mean password. All right. So successfully it is got logged in. What's next? Next, what we are going to do is that we are going to, whenever you are going to basically push to any locations, right, from your local system to any repository, you must tag your image first. Then only you can push those images to the target repository. So what I do, this is the format. If I want to push to the Docker Hub, this is the format we need to follow. It is very simple. Docker tag, name of the image, and what is the username of your Docker Hub, and the image with a tag. So what I am going to do now, this is my image name, right? It is very simple. So I will type Docker tag. Then what is the image name? Let me copy the image name because this is the image that we want. Space I give. What is username of my Docker Hub? This is a username. So enter this one. Slash you put. What is the image name we want to put this one tag? I want to give this is the image name, right? Copy this same thing because this is the image we want to push it to the Docker Hub. Colon with the tag name. Whatever tag I want to put. In my case, I can mention any tag you want to. So in my case, I'll use the same latest tag. This is nothing but right now you are going to tag using the Docker tag to specify image, in my case, this particular Docker image, and to where I given space, if you notice here, space, my username that is Docker Hub, which is available in Docker Hub, and this is the image basically which is available with the image name. I mean tag basically image with the tag that is why in between as you can see here colon, right? So right now it is going to tag now. Now if I type now again once again Docker images, now you get another one. This was the default one which was available before. Okay, and this is the one right now you have tagged it. Okay, you have tagged it right now with particular latest tag. Now what you want now? I want to push it. What is the command now? I just simply docker push. I have to use the commands and copy paste the username and the what you tag basically. So it is as simple. So what you do? Docker push. Sorry, spelling. Copy this one fully. Then mention the tag name. In my case, if you see here, what's the tag name? I given the I whatever tag I mentioned. Tag name is this one, right? Latest. So copy this one. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to push this doc image that is already tagged with this particular with the latest tag because this is the latest, right? So I mean sorry this one. Okay, so right now it is going to push it. Before that we have to log in. So we have already logged in and then we have to tag. After tagging, then only we can push to the Docker Hub. Let's wait maybe yeah. Now it is got if you see here it is got push. This is a size if you see. Let me check. What is the name of the image? This is the name. What is the name? It is a web app. Now, let me go to my repository. As you can see here, right now we don't have. Let me just refresh the page. Yes, good. Now, as you can see here, this is my Docker Hub username, and this is the image that we have tagged. Basically, we have posted right now. Okay, so we are good here now. So if you want this image now, if somebody wants to use this particular image, anybody can use these images. Okay, all right. Now this is why it is so useful. Now what I do now, I'm good here now. So I have confirmed now. If somebody wants to use the same image, they can what they can do, they can click over here. There is a button. If you see here, Docker, if you see Docker, this is Docker push, they can use. But if I want to see, I can go, I like I mentioned. Sorry, my mom here. Whatever tag name be given here, right? So we can anybody can be they can be pushed basically. In my case anyway, this is available right now. Anyone can basically pull this image. I mean not push. Okay. Right, so we have confirmed now the image whatever we have it right now. This is the image name is available in my Docker Hub right now. It is accessible publicly now. Fine. Now we are going to do the second one that is using Azure Container Registry. Now we need to remember one thing here. We need to have the Azure account. In my case, I have it already, and then we are going to create one Azure Container Registry. Also, we need to remember here when you create the username, right? I mean container registry basically you need to give this also you have to enable permissions docker pull and push permission in azure registry container. Okay, so we are going to do that. So any name you can give it. In my case I'll go here. I have logged into the already azure portal. I'm going to create username, I mean azure container registry. Any name you can give it. Let me type azure container registry. This will be your private repository which will be store your custom images. I can type any name that I wish to give. In my case, I can just give SCRRG01. Now I can mention SCR Pulse. Anything that you can give it 10. The name should be unique. Okay, this is the I want to give the a- Azure container registry name is ACR Pulse 10. This is the name I want to give it now. Now let it be everything as it is. We don't think much about the networking or anything. We leave it as default. All right. So as you can see right now, it is successfully created. Let me go to the resources. What I need was first of all, I need to enable here. Just type here access. There is access key, right? First enable your Azure admin account basically for your ACR. Then second, what you do, give a permissions. In my case, what permission I need to give? As I mentioned, I need to give a push and pull. So if I go to here, sorry, I'm role, give a permission as you can see, I have to give a pull and push together. I first pull, I will give it. Okay. Which user? I'll be the person who will be using, right? So I have to give myself. Then let me give. Right now, as you can see, right now I have given the pull. Now let me give a push also. If you want, you can use PowerShell also. It is depends on your wish. Okay, so pull there, push. Now I will use it. Same username because I'll be the person who will be pushing the images to my Azure Container Registry. So I will keep myself. All right, so it is done. Right now, what we are going to do, once it is done, we are going to take the basically, I think it's got successfully added. Yes. Now what we'll do, we'll go back. I want this one, this details, your server login. So we can get it from here or anywhere you can take it as long as it is same, it's okay. So this is the name I want. So because why I want this one? Because I need to push the image from my local system to here. So I need somewhere to authenticate myself. That is why I enable the password also. I also given the permissions. That is why. Okay. So right now what I'll do, as you can see here, as per the here, this is the command. Azure SCR login name, then registry name. So you can give as a SCR. SCR is nothing but is a Azure Container Registry login, then dash double name. Name nothing but your container registry name. It should be, it has to come with this. You cannot just copy this one. You have to give complete name. That is your server login detail. Okay. You have to give this one. So as you type down, yeah. Now because we have given the permissions, that is pull and push, so I'm able to authenticate with this thing. So I'm good here. What's next now? So I have logged in also successfully. Now I need to give a tag now. Same format what I have used before. Docker tag. One thing here, team, if you have already tag for your Docker Hub, same tag cannot be used for your Docker while pushing to the Azure Container Registry. You have to depends on your destinations or maybe the providers. You have to have different tag created separately. Okay, so in my case, I have to create separate tag for my Azure Container Registry. So Docker tag, then image name and tag, then login server name, whatever details is that. So what I'll do now, Docker tag. In my case, Docker tag I given what is the image name? So now, if you remember, this is the image name, right? Image name I given. Then what is the tag name? Tag, if you see here, this is a tag. So let me copy, colon, copy. Sorry, paste it. Now space you give. After giving space, what you now you have mentioned right now you are going to tag this particular Docker tag with this particular latest tag to which one? I want to give the Docker registry, right? So I have to give the path. Let me copy this one again. Once again, copy slash to which one again? Same image I want to this one do it right, so I can copy this one with a tag name. So if you want, you can check the format here. Where is this? Here. As you can see here, first your Docker tag, your image name you have specified with a tag. I have done this one. Also, I have selected the Azure login server details. I have got this also. Then image name also, same image name with a tag that is already it is available here. So same thing I have updated here. So I'm good here. I have tagged it now. Let me check Docker images. Now let me clear the screen first. Okay. Now as you can see here, what is my container registry name? This is the ACR Pulse 10, right? If you notice here, you will get here, right? ACR Pulse 10 with particular complete this thing. This is a tag. So I will have to push this particular image now, which got tagged to my Azure Container Registry. Do Docker push. Let me show you. Docker push. Same copy this one. Whatever you have, registry name, image, everything. Just copy everything with a tag. So Docker push done. Colon. Like I mentioned, at the last it will be tag. You have to give tag. In my case, tag is your this is a tag, right? It's the latest. So let me copy this one. Colon you have to give always in between. So this is the format. Okay, Docker push, then your server login details and your image name and your tag name. So I'm good here now. So let me push now. So as you can see right now, it is being pushed right now to your Azure Container Registry. So anytime any of your members, team members can access these particular images in order to deploy in any of the applications or any of the environment. All right, so as you can see here, same image size, it is successfully pushed. Now let me go back to my Azure Container Registry and verify it. Let me refresh the page. So as I refresh the page, once again, I will be taken. Basically, I have to go to the repository, just type repository. I think I have mentioned here also. You can also check here, repository somewhere I have mentioned. Yeah, here. Okay. You can just go through these notes as well. This will help you a lot. Now I have clicked here, repository. Now whatever image name that I have it, I'll be getting the same image. This is the name I have it, right? Web app. So this is the image web app we have it locally. So as you can see here, this is the we have it. So it is tagged successfully and also it is got pushed to the Azure Container Registry. So it is available now to use it. Right now you can see this is if this is a tag we have it inside you go. Now if somebody wants to use it, they can use this one Docker pool with particulars this thing with a tag name. So it is available now to be used by anybody. As long as they have access, anyone can use this one. So this was posted to the Docker container registry. I mean Azure container registry. But question is, how do I know this particular image whether it is working fine in your cloud or not? I mean, I just wanted to confirm whether my image, whatever push got pushed from the local to the remote. I mean, in your Docker registry, that is your Azure container registry. How do you confirm whether it is working fine or not? The image is working fine or not? So, in order to check or in order to verify whether your image is working or fine, there is a service called within the Azure container instance. You can also search here. Let me just show you container instance as you can see the instances. So let me create one container instance. This is also a platform that gives you the flexibility to test your applications. That is your containerized based application. You can be able to test it whether it is working fine or not. So I'll give any name or I can select the existing resource group name. Any name I can give a test ACR instance, something like that. I can give any name that you wish to 01 maybe. Okay. Let it be locations. Now as you can see here, SQ you can leave for now. If you see the like image source, if you have in your Docker Hub also, we can test it. Or if you have other repository or maybe ACR also. In my case, our Docker image basically available in your Azure Container Registry. So I will select this one. As I select this one, if you remember before, if you normally don't get this option, if you don't give the, if you don't enable, let me just show you. So just let me show you here. This access, right? If you don't enable your admin user, this particular, if you don't enable here, when you test it, when if you want to test for your container instance, right? I mean container image, basically Docker image, you cannot test it. You cannot get this option here. So in my case, I have enabled. That is why I get to see over here. So anyway, so let me select this one. So this is the repository I have, right? And under this one, what is the image I have? If you have multiple image, it will be listed over here. In my case, I have only one Docker image available. So with the tag, I'm good with this one. So let me just go with the next. I don't want to do anything. Just create it. So we need to wait at least a minute, something. So let's wait for that. So what I'm going to do now, once it is successfully created, so that like I mentioned, the same Docker image which was pushed from your local machine to the Azure Container Registry was available. Now the same image I want to test it in my Azure cloud, so that I can confirm that the image which was built was correctly built and it is accessible or it is working fine. Okay, so let's wait. Yeah, as you can see here, it is successfully got created. Right now, as you can see here, container instance, that this is a name, it is successfully created. Now the Docker image, if you go to the containers here, this is the container name. What if you see here, image, this got pull which was available here, right here. The same image, if you see here, this was used for your this thing now. So it is running also. If you want to see more details, you can check here. So properties, more details, you can get everything like a image name, whatever the content name you given. So this is just like a platform it gives you as your service will give you the platform for you to test it. So what I'll do now, I will test it, this particular application. How can I test it? Let me go back once again. There is a IP, copy this public IP. Let me browse in this thing, type here. So all right. So as you can see here right now, I have typed with the same what you say, this IP of my container instance, this public IP. So right now, as you can see here, it is accessible. It says, "Hi there, welcome to Azure DevOps Pulse." So this confirms that you have successfully built the custom Docker image, and which was built in your Docker Hub as well as your what do you call that, Azure Container Registry. It is successfully push as well as it is working fine. So that is how we can confirm, and we have a confidence now to tell your team or inform them that it is working fine. Okay. So yeah. So all right, team. So that's all for today's sessions. So thank you so much. I see you in the next session. Till then, bye bye. Have a nice day. Bye bye.